My name is Natasha Morgan. I'm 32 years old, and I just did the most liberating thing I've ever done in my life. I blocked my parents' number. Sounds simple, right? Just pressing a button. But it took 3 decades of humiliation, tens of thousands of wasted dollars, and one final betrayal so cruel it finally woke me up. I grew up as the invisible daughter. While my cousin Amber was treated like a princess, I was the one cleaning up her mess. When Amber needed money for her emergencies, my parents called me. When she broke something, I fixed it. And when I finally became successful, a 6-figure job, my own apartment, financial stability, guess what happened? I became the family's personal bank. For 5 years, I paid my parents' mortgage. I covered Amber's credit card debt 3 times. I funded my father's business ideas that never worked. And at every family dinner, while Amber was praised for trying, I was blamed for not helping enough. Until last week. That's when I found out my parents refinanced the house I had been paying for, to give $50,000 to Amber so she could open a clothing boutique. Without telling me. Without thanking me for 5 years of payments. They just handed my money to her. And when I confronted them, my mother said I was selfish. That family helps family. That Amber needed it more because I was already successful. That's when I realized. They will never see me. They will never value me. To them, I'm just a wallet with legs. So I did the unthinkable. I canceled every automatic transfer. I blocked all of them. And I hired a lawyer. Because if they wanted war, I was going to give them a war they'd never forget. The email arrived on a Saturday morning while I was drinking coffee in my Manhattan apartment. Sender, First National Bank. Subject, refinancing notice, 340, Oak Street. 340, Oak Street. My parents' house. The house I had been faithfully paying for, month after month, for 5 years. I opened the email, my heartbeat already speeding up. And there it was, in black and white. Refinancing approved in the amount of $50,000. New mortgage balance, $180,000. $50,000. They had pulled $50,000 of equity out of the house I was paying for. Without telling me. Without consulting me. My hands trembled as I grabbed my phone and dialed my mother. Natasha. What a surprise. You never call in the morning. Her voice was cheerful, carefree. Mom, I just got an email from the bank about a refinancing. For your house. Silence. Quick, but revealing. Oh, that. Yes, your father and I made a small adjustment to our finances. A small adjustment? You took out $50,000. Well, we needed the money. And it's our house, Natasha. Our house. As if the last 5 years of payments I made simply didn't exist. What did you need $50,000 for? Another silence. Longer this time. That's not really any of your business. Not my business? My voice rose. I've been paying the mortgage on that house for 5 years. Every cent. $62,000 in total. And you think it's not my business? Natasha, stop yelling. We're very grateful for your help, but the house is in our name. We can do whatever we want with it. I took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. Fine. Then tell me. What was the money for? If you must know, we gave it to Amber. She's opening a boutique. It's an investment in her future. There it was. The truth I already suspected but hoped I was wrong about. You gave $50,000 to Amber. Yes. She has a wonderful business plan. She'll sell vintage clothing and... How many of Amber's business ideas have I already financed, Mom? The jewelry line that failed in 3 months? The food truck she abandoned after 2 weeks? The fashion blog she never posted on? This time is different. She's committed. She's committed to my money, you mean? It's not your money, Natasha. You chose to help with the mortgage. Nobody forced you. Chose. As if the desperate phone calls, my mother's tears, the veiled threats about losing the house weren't manipulation. Do you have any idea how many extra hours I worked to pay for that house? How many weekends I sacrificed? How many vacations I skipped? And we're grateful. But Natasha, you earn good money. You can afford it. Amber is struggling. Amber is struggling. 28-year-old Amber who never kept a job for more than 6 months. Amber who lived in a 2-bedroom apartment my father paid for. Amber who drove a BMW that I helped finance just this once. How much have you two contributed to the mortgage in the last 5 years? I asked, my voice dangerously calm. Well, your father had those medical expenses, and then my knee surgery, Anne. How much, Mom? Natasha, that's not. How much? Maybe around 3,000 total. But. 3,000. In 5 years. While I paid 62,000. I see, I said. Crystal clear. Natasha, why are you being so difficult? It's just money. Family is more important. You're right. Family should be more important. Too bad you never treated me like family. That's not fair. We love you. Do you? Or do you love what I can do for you? Because from where I'm standing, it feels like I'm just a convenient source of income. Natasha Morgan, you are being incredibly selfish right now. After everything we did for you. Did for me? Like what? Dressing me in hand-me-downs while Amber got brand new clothes? Making me share a room while Amber had her own? Sending me to work at 15 while Amber got an allowance? You were always more responsible. More independent. Amber needs more support. Amber needs more support or you raised her to be a parasite? Enough. My father's voice suddenly joined the call. He must have been listening on the other line. You will not talk about your cousin that way. Amber is family. And I'm not. You are. But you're an adult. Successful. You don't need us the way Amber does. And there it was. The naked truth. I didn't need them. So I didn't matter. Amber needed, or rather, demanded, everything. So she got everything. You're right, I said, surprised by the calm in my own voice. I don't need you. Not at all. Natasha. The mortgage payments stop now. I'm not giving you another cent. You can't do that. My mother panicked. We can't pay without your help. You should have thought about that before treating me like an ATM machine. Good luck with the new debt. Natasha. If you do this, we'll lose the house. Not my problem. Like you said, it's your house. Do whatever you want with it. I hung up. And for the first time in 5 years, I felt something close to freedom. My phone exploded with messages minutes later. Mom. Dad. Uncle Richard. Aunt Susan. And of course, Amber. I opened Amber's message out of morbid curiosity. Seriously, Tasha? You are really gonna screw over your parents? BC, you are jealous of me? That's so immature. Jealous. She thought this was about jealousy. I typed a reply, deleted it, typed another. Finally, I wrote. It's not jealousy, Amber. It's justice. Enjoy the $50K. They're the last dollars you'll ever see from me. I blocked her number. Then I blocked my parents. Then the rest of the family, who were already flooding my phone with messages calling me cruel and vindictive. I sat in silence in my apartment. I expected to feel guilt. Regret. Something. But all I felt was relief. Until a message came through from a number I hadn't blocked. My grandmother, Rose. Sweetheart, I heard about the fight. Can we talk? Grandma Rose was the only person in the family who had ever treated me with dignity. The only one who never asked for money, never compared me to Amber, never made me feel small. I called her. Grandma. Natasha, my love. Your mother called me hysterical. She told me her version of the story. Now I want to hear yours. I told her everything. 5 years of payments. Amber's constant emergencies that I had to fix. The secret refinancing. $50,000 handed to my cousin without a single thank you to me. When I finished, Grandma Rose let out a long, heavy sigh. Your mother has always had a blind spot when it comes to Amber. Ever since her sister, Amber's mother, died in that accident. She promised to raise Amber as if she were her own daughter. But in the process, she forgot she already had a daughter. Why didn't you ever say anything? I did. Many times. Your mother doesn't listen. And your father, well, he's always been too weak to contradict her. So what do I do now? They'll lose the house without my payments. Good. Her answer was firm. Maybe it's time they learned that actions have consequences. Grandma. No, Natasha. Listen. You spent 32 years being the responsible daughter, the problem solver, the one who sacrifices everything. And what did you gain? Nothing but being used. It's time you live your own life. But they'll hate me. They already treated you as if they hated you. At least now you're not funding your own abuse. Her words were harsh, but true. You think I'm a bad person for doing this? No, sweetheart. I think you've finally woken up. After hanging up, I sat there processing everything. I opened my laptop and pulled up a spreadsheet, 5 years of financial records. Every transfer to my parents. Every loan to Amber that was never repaid. Every emergency I covered. The total made my stomach twist. $143,000. Almost $150,000 given to my family in 5 years. Money I could have used as a down payment on my own home. Trips. Investments. Anything. Instead, I had financed their lifestyle while being treated like an employee. My phone rang. Unknown number. I didn't answer. They left a voicemail. It was my father. Natasha, this is serious. The bank already called us about the next payment. If you don't pay, we'll go into default. Our interest rate will go up. We'll lose the house. Do you want your parents on the street? Delete. Another unknown number. Another voicemail. My mother this time. Natasha, please. You're being irrational. I know you're upset, but you can process this in therapy. You don't need to punish your whole family. Process in therapy. As if I were the problem. Delete. More messages. Uncle Richard saying I was a disgrace. Aunt Susan saying family doesn't abandon family. Cousins I barely knew calling me selfish. And Amber. Amber somehow got a new number just to send. My therapist says you have serious control issues and jealousy. You need professional help. But I'll forgive you anyway because I'm a better person than that. I laughed. Out loud. The irony was too rich. Blocked that number too. On Sunday morning, I went to the gym. Then to the grocery store. I did normal things normal people do. And for the first time in years, I didn't have that knot of dread in my stomach every time my phone buzzed. Because I was no longer waiting for the next emergency. The next moment my family would need me to fix their self-inflicted problems. On Monday morning, I had a meeting with my boss, Patricia. She noticed right away. You look lighter, she said. I cut toxic people out of my life. Family? How did you know? Because family is always the hardest to cut. But also the most freeing when you finally do. She leaned forward. Natasha, you've been here for 6 years. You're brilliant. But you've always carried this tension. Like you were holding up the world. Looks like you finally set it down. I set down a big piece of it. Good. Because I have a proposal for you. We're opening a branch in Seattle. We need someone strong to lead it. 30% raise. Full relocation package. Interested? Seattle. 3,000 miles between me and my family. When do you need an answer? End of the week. On Tuesday night, the email arrived. From a lawyer. Representing my parents. They were suing me. For broken promise and emotional distress. Claiming I had made a verbal commitment to pay their mortgage indefinitely and that my abrupt withdrawal of financial support was causing them a severe psychological harm. I read the lawsuit 3 times, stunned. They were actually suing me. For stopping the flow of money. I called a lawyer the next morning, Howard Chen, a specialist in family law and financial disputes. Let me make sure I understand, he said after I explained everything. You voluntarily paid their mortgage for 5 years. No written contract. No formal agreement. Just you being a good daughter. Yes. And now they're suing you because you stopped. Yes. He laughed. Not a polite chuckle, a full, genuine laugh. Ms. Morgan, this case has no chance. 0. In fact, it's so frivolous that we can file a countersuit for harassment and recover your legal fees. Seriously? Absolutely. Even better, we can file for restitution. Do you have proof of all the payments you made? Every transfer. 5 years of bank statements. Perfect. We'll build a case. Not just to defend you, but to recover some of what you lost. I can do that? We can try. It's difficult, but if we can prove financial exploitation, coercion, especially if you have communications showing emotional manipulation. I have years of messages. Emails. Voicemails. Howard's smile got even wider. Then we have a case. I spent the next 3 days compiling evidence. Every emergency text. Every just this once email. Every voicemail of my mother crying about losing the house. I had proof of patterns. Consistent manipulation. And even worse, I had an email exchange from 2 years earlier where my mother literally wrote, "Natasha always gives in if we pressure her enough. Just pretend it's urgent." She had sent it to my father. Accidentally CC'd me. At the time, I pretended I hadn't seen it. Because family. Because love. Because I still hoped one day they'd appreciate me. What an idiot I was. Howard practically jumped when I showed him that email. This is gold. Written proof of deliberate manipulation. Natasha, you're not just going to win this defense, you're going to destroy them. I don't want to destroy them. I just want them to leave me alone. Then we'll make sure they do. Permanently. On Friday, I gave Patricia my answer. I'm in. Seattle. When do I start? 3 weeks, she asked, checking her calendar. Could it be 2? I replied instantly. She smiled. Running from something? Or running towards something? I'm still deciding which. That night, sitting in my half-empty apartment, I had already started packing. I received a call from a number I hadn't blocked. Grandma Rose. Natasha, sweetheart. Your father showed up here today. What? Why? Begging for money. Saying you abandoned them and now they can't pay the bills. He wanted me to convince you to go back. And what did you say? I told him he should have thought about that before treating you like an ATM. Then I told him to get out of my house before I called the police. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Grandma. No, let me finish. I also told him I'm changing my will. You were supposed to split my inheritance with your mother and Amber. Now you get everything. Grandma, you don't have to. Oh, I do. You're the only one who deserves it. The only one who has ever treated me with love, not self-interest. And I want you to know I'm proud of you. For finally setting boundaries. After hanging up, I cried. Not out of sadness, out of relief. Someone finally saw me. Valued me. And it was the only person who ever truly had. On Sunday, 2 weeks after cutting off my parents, the drama went public. Amber posted on Facebook a long, dramatic rant about how I was a jealous and cruel cousin who sabotaged her dream and abandoned the family in crisis. The comments were predictable. People I didn't know calling me selfish. Amber's friends saying, "You deserve better." My aunt sharing it with the hashtag family matters. I watched the whole thing from my laptop, eating popcorn, genuinely entertained. Until I saw a comment from someone I actually knew, Jeremy, my coworker who used to be close friends with Amber in college. "Funny hearing you talk about family, Amber. Weren't you the one telling everyone that your stupid rich cousin was going to fund your shop forever? That she was easy to manipulate because she always felt she had something to prove? I've got screenshots if you want me to post them." Amber's post was deleted within 5 minutes. But the damage was done. Other mutual friends started sharing their own stories. How Amber always talked behind my back. How she laughed about how easy it was to make me pay for things. The narrative was shifting. And I didn't have to lift a finger. I just sat back and watched my cousin self-destruct in real time. On Monday morning, Howard called me. "Your parents withdrew the lawsuit." "Really?" "Yes. My guess. Their lawyer finally saw the evidence we compiled and told them they had no case. And likely warned them our countersuit had real teeth." "So it's over?" "The legal part, yes. But Natasha? I have to warn you. People like them don't give up easily. They'll try other ways to reach you. To manipulate you back." "I'm not going back." "Good. Hold on to that energy." 2 days later, my mother appeared. She didn't call. She didn't text. She simply showed up at my building. The doorman called me. "Ms. Morgan, there's a woman here who says she's your mother." "Should I let her up?" "No. Tell her I'm not available." 5 minutes later, my new phone number that only a few people had, rang. "Grandma Rose. Your mother is here. At my house. Crying. Saying you refuse to talk to her." "I won't talk to her." "Good. But she's causing a scene. Do you want me to handle it, or do you want to?" I sighed. "I'll come." At Grandma Rose's house, I found my mother sitting on the living room sofa, eyes red, makeup smeared. "Natasha," she stood up the moment she saw me. "Finally. We need to talk." "We have nothing to talk about." "How can you say that? I'm your mother. You're the woman who gave birth to me." "But a mother? Mothers protect their daughters. Mothers value their daughters. You used me." "I used you? I raised you. I gave you a roof, food, education. You did the bare minimum required not to be charged with neglect. Do you want a medal? You're impossible. You've always been difficult, always questioning, always wanting more." "I wanted love, Mom. Basic respect. To be treated as well as Amber. Is that wanting too much?" Amber needed more. She lost her parents. And I lost mine too. Because even though you're alive, you were never really there for me." My mother started crying. Big, dramatic sobs, the kind that used to make me cave. But this time, I felt nothing. "We're going to lose the house, Natasha. Is that what you want? Your parents on the street? You're not going to lose the house." "Yes, we are. Without your payments. You just got $50,000. Use it to pay the mortgage. That money is Amber's. For her business. Then she'll have to choose her business or her aunt and uncle's house. You can't make her choose that. I'm not. You did when you decided to give her money instead of honoring the years of support I gave. Natasha, please. I'm begging you. Just 6 more months. Until Amber gets the business going. Then we can. No. You are a horrible daughter. And there it was. The mask finally falling off completely. Maybe. But at least I'm no longer your puppet. I left Grandma Rose's house without looking back. My mother screamed after me, but I didn't stop. Grandma Rose called me an hour later. I sent her away. Told her if she shows up here again uninvited, I'll get a restraining order. Thank you, Grandma. Natasha, do you know what your mother said to me after you left? What? That she expects you to learn your lesson and come back begging for forgiveness. That you always come back eventually. Not this time. I know, sweetheart. And I'm so proud of you. A week before my move to Seattle, I got an unexpected call. It was Marcus, the bank manager handling my parents' mortgage. Ms. Morgan, I'm calling because, well, your parents listed you as the emergency contact on their mortgage account. And we're facing a situation. I'm no longer responsible for their mortgage. I understand. But I thought you'd want to know. They're in default. 2 missed payments. And when we tried to discuss options, your father, well, he told us to call you. Said you'd give in eventually. I laughed bitterly. He said that? Yes. And your mother added it was their strategy. To wait until you felt guilty. Marcus, can I ask why you're telling me this? Because it's manipulative and wrong. And because, well, I have access to the records. I saw how much you paid over the years. And I've seen how they're treating you now. It isn't right. Thank you for telling me. But my answer is the same. It's not my responsibility. Understood. I just wanted you to know they're counting on you to break. After hanging up, something shifted inside me. Not anger, cold determination. They thought I would bend. Would return. That I always came back. But for the first time in my life, I was proving them wrong. And in a twisted way, it was the most liberating thing I had ever felt. Seattle was everything I needed. Gray skies, constant rain, and 3,000 miles between me and my family. My new apartment overlooked the Puget Sound, and for the first time in years, I woke up without that tightness in my chest. No messages asking for money. No last-minute emergencies. No Amber waiting for me to fix her life. Just blessed silence. My first week at the new office was intense but rewarding. Patricia had been right, this was the opportunity one needed. Senior manager of a 12-person team, a salary of $180,000 plus bonuses, and respect. Real respect, not the fake kind my family pretended to have. I was in a meeting Thursday when my phone vibrated. Unknown number. Ignored. It buzzed again. And again. After the meeting, I checked the voicemails. 3 of them. All from my father. Natasha, your Uncle Richard had a heart attack. He's in the hospital. We need you. Call back. My stomach twisted. Uncle Richard. My father's brother. He'd always been distant, but not cruel like the rest. I immediately called Grandma Rose. Grandma, Dad said Uncle Richard had a heart attack. Is it true? Richard? She sounded confused. Sweetie, I saw Richard at the supermarket yesterday. He was perfectly fine. Even helped me carry my groceries. My blood ran cold. So Dad lied. Apparently. He must be desperate to get you back. He invented a medical emergency. Who does that? People who always got what they wanted through manipulation. And who don't know what to do when someone finally says no. I blocked 3 more numbers that night. My father had bought burner phones to keep calling. Friday night, I finally relaxed enough to go out. Some coworkers invited me for drinks at a nearby bar. I accepted, excited to make new friends, build a new life. I was laughing at one of Kevin's jokes when my blood froze. Across the bar stood Amber. It couldn't be a coincidence. Seattle was 3,000 miles away. And even if she were visiting, what were the odds of being in the same bar, on the same night? Our eyes met. She smiled, that fake smile I knew too well. And she walked over. Tasha. What an incredible surprise seeing you here. She threw her arms around me. I went stiff. Amber. What are you doing in Seattle? Visiting you, of course. When Mama Diane told me you moved, I thought, I need to support my favorite cousin in this new chapter. Mama Diane. She called my mother Mama Diane since she was 12, another way to rub in my face that she was the favorite daughter. How did you know where I'd be? Oh, you know. Facebook. Asked around. Someone mentioned this area is popular for after-work Friday drinks. She sat down without being invited. So, aren't you going to introduce me to your friends? My coworkers looked uncomfortable. Kevin especially seemed confused by the tension. Everyone, this is Amber. My cousin. Amber, this is Kevin, Lisa, Jordan, and Marcus. Nice to meet Natasha's family. Lisa said brightly. She's amazing. We're so lucky to have her on the team. Oh yes, Tasha has always been the responsible one in the family. Amber's tone was sugary sweet with venom underneath. Always working hard, always serious. Never knows how to relax and enjoy life. Actually, Marcus cut in, Natasha is one of the most balanced people I know. Works hard but also knows how to have fun. Amber laughed, that fake laugh. Well, you've known her what? A week? I've known her my whole life. Trust me, she has issues. Amber. My voice was low, dangerous. Why are you really here? I told you. To see you. Lie. My mother sent you. Her smile faltered. Only for a second, but enough. Tasha, don't be paranoid. I came because I care about you. You've never cared about me. How much did she pay you to come? That's offensive. I flew 3,000 miles. In what class? Let me guess. First? She flushed. That doesn't matter. And the hotel? 4 stars at least? Natasha, why are you being so hostile? Because you're lying. You don't have the money for a spontaneous cross-country trip. My mother paid. Probably with the money meant to save their house. My coworkers watched like a tennis match, heads whipping between us. Fine, fine. Amber threw up her hands dramatically. Mama Diane is worried about you. You cut everyone off, moved to another state without telling anyone. I told you. I emailed 2 weeks before. An email. You didn't even call. And now you're here in Seattle all alone. I'm not alone. I have friends. Colleagues. My own life. Without family. That's sad, Tasha. You know what's sad? Being 32 and still needing your parents to pay your bills. Amber went pale. I don't. No? Then those $50,000 my parents gave you, money meant to save their house, did you return it? That's different. That's an investment in my business. Oh yes, your business. How's that going, by the way? That amazing boutique that was supposed to open 2 weeks ago? Silence. It hasn't opened yet, has it? We're delaying the launch. For strategic reasons. Strategic reasons, or you spent everything on designer clothes and trips? You're a bitch, you know that? My coworkers gasped. Kevin stood. Hey, no disrespect at this table. No, it's fine. I stood too. Amber, you can tell my mother the mission failed. I'm not coming back. I'm not giving them more money. And I'm not letting myself be manipulated by fake tears or casual visits. They're going to lose the house. Then maybe they should have thought about that before treating me like an ATM. You're selfish. You always have been. Always jealous of me, always wanting attention. Jealous? My voice rose. Jealous of what exactly? Being spoiled and incapable of functioning as an adult? Never having to work for anything because someone always pays for your mistakes? Yes, Amber, I'm so jealous of your pathetic life. She threw her drink at me. The bar went silent. Liquid dripped down my face, staining my blouse. And I laughed. I laughed because it was so predictable. So Amber. When words failed, she escalated to drama. Thank you, I said, wiping my face with a napkin. Now I have witnesses of harassment. Kevin, did you record that? Kevin, wisely, had his phone up. Every second. Perfect. Amber, if you don't leave now, I'll call the police and file charges. You wouldn't. Try me. She looked around, at my coworkers, who were clearly on my side. At the other patrons watching. At the security guard walking our way. This isn't over, she hissed. Oh, it's over. Completely. Amber stormed out. Security asked if I wanted to file a report. I considered it, then declined. Not worth the time. I'm so sorry about that, I told my coworkers once she was gone. Are you kidding? Lisa's jaw was on the floor. That was the most badass thing I've ever seen. You were like a movie heroine. Your family seems intense, Jordan said diplomatically. They were my family. Not anymore. Can I ask, Kevin said carefully, what happened? For things to get like that? So I told them. A shortened version. How I grew up as second choice. How I started helping financially. How 5 years and $140,000 later, they stabbed me in the back. When I finished, Marcus let out a low whistle. 140 grand? Damn. And they're mad you stopped? Lisa was incredulous. That's insane. Welcome to my world. Or rather, my old world. This one is much better. I went home that night with a stained blouse but a light heart. Yes, Amber had shown up. Yes, it had been dramatic. But I stayed firm. I didn't cave. I wasn't manipulated. And my new friends, because they already felt like friends, had backed me without hesitation. It was what family was supposed to be. The next morning, I woke up to messages. Not from unknown numbers this time. From my parents' lawyer. They were suing me again. This time for family affection alienation and demanding $200,000 in damages. I called Howard immediately. Howard, they're back. I saw the filing. It hit my desk an hour ago. Natasha, this is even more ridiculous than the first one. Alienation of affection? That's not even valid in 90% of states. And asking for 200 grand? That's basically an admission they're trying to extort you. What do? We countersue. And this time we don't hold back. We go for financial exploitation of an elder. They're not elderly. Then financial exploitation of a vulnerable adult. We'll demand full restitution. $143,000 plus interest and emotional damages. And we'll make sure this ridiculous lawsuit of theirs becomes public record. Let everyone see what kind of people they are. Howard, this is going to get ugly. It's already ugly. They made it ugly. Now we make sure they face consequences. On Monday, our countersuit was filed. And just as Howard promised, it leaked to the local media. Daughter sues parents for financial exploitation after years of abuse, a shocking story of family manipulation. The article had everything. Bank statements, numbers redacted, totals visible. Screenshots of messages showing manipulation. Even that incriminating email from my mother about pressuring until she gives in. My phone blew up. But this time, it wasn't family asking for money. It was reporters wanting my story. Lawyers offering pro bono representation. And surprisingly, dozens of people sharing their own stories of financial abuse. My parents made me pay for my younger brother's college. $30,000. He graduated and I never saw a cent back. My sister borrowed $50,000 for a medical emergency. Turned out it was for plastic surgery. My parents convinced me to refinance my house to invest in a family business. Business crashed. Now I owe $200,000. The stories were endless. And each one reminded me I wasn't alone. Toxic families were an epidemic. On Wednesday, I got a call from a TV producer. Ms. Morgan, your case caught our attention. We're producing a documentary series about family financial abuse. Would you like to participate? I don't know. Won't that make things more public? It's already public. The lawsuit is public. The news has reported it. This would be your chance to tell your story in your own words. I thought for a long moment. Let me think. I called Grandma Rose for advice. Do it, she said immediately. Your mother is spreading her distorted version to everyone who'll listen. Saying you're ungrateful, lying, having a mental breakdown. It's time you told the truth. But this will humiliate them publicly. Good. Maybe it's time. I called the producer back. I'm in. But with conditions. Final editorial approval over what airs. And anonymity for anyone I mention who isn't directly my parents or Amber. Done. Filming started 2 weeks later. I sat in a comfortable chair, mic clipped to my blouse, and told everything. Every humiliating detail. Hand-me-downs while Amber had new clothes. Sharing a bedroom while she had her own. Working at 15 while she got an allowance. And later, the adult exploitation. The loans never paid back. The constant emergencies. 5 years of paying a mortgage only to discover they gave Amber $50,000 behind my back. The interviewer, a woman named Diana, was compassionate but direct. When did you realize it wasn't love? That it was exploitation? When I saw that email. My mother telling my father to pressure until I give in. That's when I understood I wasn't a daughter. I was a resource. And now? How do you feel about cutting your family off? Free. For the first time in 32 years, free. The episode aired 3 weeks later. And exploded. Trending on Twitter. Shared hundreds of thousands of times on Facebook. Reddit threads. TikToks of people reacting. And of course, my family responded. My mother made her own public statement, tears, shaking voice, Oscar-worthy performance. My daughter is sick. She needs help. Nothing she said is true. We love her. We always loved her. But she has untreated mental health issues and is fabricating this cruel narrative. Amber posted a long Instagram video. My cousin was always jealous of me. This isn't about money. It's about her not being able to handle that our aunt and uncle loved me like a daughter because my parents died. My father went on local TV. We're devastated. Our daughter abandoned us in a moment of need. And now she's defaming us publicly. We hope she gets the help she needs. Their narrative was consistent. I was crazy. Jealous. A liar. But the public wasn't buying it. Do you have proof she paid the mortgage? Yes. Do you have proof you plan to manipulate her? Yes. So who's lying? Classic Darvo, deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. They're following the abuser's handbook. That woman had the courage to escape. Good for her. Howard sent me a compilation of comments. You've won the court of public opinion. Now let's win the real one. The case went to trial 4 months later. Packed courtroom. Reporters filling every row. TV cameras outside. My parents sat on the opposite side with their attorney, a slick man in an expensive suit likely charging $300 an hour they definitely did not have. Amber was in the gallery. Carol, Uncle Richard's wife, the one whose husband supposedly had the fake heart attack, was there too. A few distant relatives as well. On my side. Howard, his paralegal Kelly, and, surprisingly, Grandma Rose. I wouldn't miss this for the world, she whispered. The judge entered. Judge Martha Hernandez, notorious for zero tolerance for nonsense. My parents' lawyer presented first. A tear-soaked story about an ungrateful daughter who abandoned loving parents in a moment of desperate need. My clients gave everything to this woman. Raised her with love, education, opportunities. And when they finally needed her help she voluntarily offered, she cruelly withdrew it, leaving them facing financial ruin. Howard stood. Objection after objection. Foundation? Evidence? Relevance? When it was our turn, Howard was methodical and ruthless. Your Honor, I will present clear evidence of a pattern of financial exploitation. The plaintiff, Natasha Morgan, paid approximately $143,000 to her family over the past 5 years. Not out of love. Not out of genuine choice. But due to systematic manipulation. He displayed the bank statements, every transfer highlighted. He displayed the messages. SOS need $2K today or lights off. Amber is in crisis, can you loan $5K? Medical emergency need $10K by Friday. And then he showed that email, the one my mother had accidentally CC'd me on. Natasha always gives in if we pressure enough. The courtroom went still. And when my client finally set boundaries, when she said, no more, the plaintiffs sued her. Not once, but twice. Demanding $200,000. For alienation of affection. Howard nearly spat the words. This is not loving family behavior, Your Honor. This is extortion. Their lawyer tried to recover. My client was under stress when she wrote that email. Stress from what? Howard cut in. Having to pay their own bills for once? Objection. Sustained. Mr. Chan maintained decorum. Apologies, Your Honor. My mother was called to the stand. She wore modest clothing, minimal makeup, trying to look fragile. Mrs. Morgan, Howard said, showing her the email. Did you write this? I was frustrated. I didn't mean. Yes or no. Did you write it? Yes, but. And when you wrote, Natasha always gives in if we pressure enough, what did you mean? I was venting to my husband. Venting about how to manipulate your daughter. Objection. Argumentative. Rephrased. Mrs. Morgan, how much of the $143,000 your daughter paid do you intend to return? It was a gift. She gave it willingly. A gift? Even though you admit in writing that you pressured her? Objection. Sustained. Next question, Mr. Chan. Howard shifted tactics. Mrs. Morgan, when your daughter stopped making payments, how long did it take before you sued her? I don't know exactly. Let me refresh your memory. 17 days. Less than 3 weeks. Does that sound like the behavior of a loving, concerned parent whose daughter is supposedly mentally unwell? My mother didn't answer. And the refinancing. The $50,000 you took out of the house. Did you inform your daughter before or after? After. But we weren't obligated. Your daughter had paid $62,000 of that mortgage by then. You didn't think she deserved to know? It's our house. That she was paying for. Yes, or no, Mrs. Morgan, did you know that refinancing would increase the monthly payment she would have to cover? Silence. Yes, or no. Yes. And you still did it. Without consulting her. Because you assumed she would continue paying indefinitely. Correct? We thought she'd understand that family helps family. But apparently family doesn't include reciprocal treatment. Of the $143,000 your daughter gave you, how much did you and your husband contribute to her expenses? College, wedding, anything? We raised her. That was not the question. As an adult, how much did you contribute to her life financially? My mother looked to her lawyer for help. He couldn't save her. Nothing, she finally whispered. Nothing. Yet you gave $50,000 to Amber, your niece, for her business. Correct? Amber is practically our daughter. And Natasha? Your biological daughter? What is she, an ATM? Objection. Hostile. Sustained. Mr. Chin, watch your tone. But the damage was done. Everyone in the courtroom had heard her admit it. My father did worse. He was arrogant, defensive, constantly trying to flip the narrative. My daughter was always difficult. Always questioning, always wanting more attention. We raised her well, gave her education, but nothing was ever enough. Mr. Morgan, your daughter graduated with honors, secured a six-figure job, and is fully self-sufficient. How exactly is that difficult? She was always jealous of Amber. Amber, who at 28 has never kept a job for more than 6 months. Amber, who lives in an apartment you pay for. That Amber? Amber lost her parents young. She needs more support. And your own daughter? She didn't need support? Love? Or did she only need to pay bills? My father turned red. That's not fair. Isn't it? Then explain to the court, why did you tell the bank manager that your daughter would cave eventually? Why did you invent your brother's heart attack to force her back? Why did you send Amber to Seattle to manipulate her? I didn't. We have phone records, Mr. Morgan. We have confirmation from your brother Richard that he never had a heart attack. And we have video of Amber throwing a drink at your daughter in a Seattle bar. So do not lie under oath. My father collapsed. Literally sank into his chair. We just wanted our daughter back. You wanted her wallet back. There's a difference. When Howard finished, there wasn't a shred of doubt in the room. Judge Hernandez looked at my parents with visible disgust. I'll be frank. In 23 years on the bench, I've rarely seen something so blatant. You exploited your daughter systematically, documented your own manipulation, and when she finally established healthy boundaries, you attacked her, legally and publicly. My mother began crying. Real tears this time, not performative ones. Your lawsuit is not only unfounded, it is frivolous to the point of bad faith. I am not only dismissing it, but ordering you to pay Ms. Morgan's legal fees. Additionally, I am granting the countersuit. The defendants owe the plaintiff $143,000 plus interest. Payment must begin within 30 days. Bang. The gavel fell. The room erupted in murmurs. Reporters ran outside. My parents sat in shock. Howard leaned toward me. You won. Completely. But I didn't feel victorious. I looked at my parents, the woman who gave birth to me, the man who was supposed to protect me, and felt nothing but emptiness. They were never going to pay that money. They didn't have it. They'd probably file for bankruptcy. And even if they did pay, no amount of money could give me back my childhood. My teenage years. The time I spent believing I had to buy love. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed me. Ms. Morgan, how do you feel? Relieved. Will you forgive your parents? Forgiveness requires remorse. They still haven't admitted they did anything wrong. So no. And Amber? Amber is an adult. She needs to learn that actions have consequences. Just like my parents. What would you tell others in similar situations? I paused. Look directly into the camera. If your family treats you like a resource instead of a person, if they only contact you when they need something, if you are constantly drained emotionally and financially, you do not need permission to leave. It's not selfish. It's survival. The clip went viral. Millions of views in 24 hours. My inbox filled with stories. My parents were furious when I refused to pay my sister's wedding. Your case gave me courage to say no. I cut off my toxic family yesterday. Thank you for showing it's possible. My therapist showed me your story. It changed my life. 3 weeks after the ruling, I got an email from a different law firm. My parents had filed for bankruptcy, wiping all debts, including what they owed me. I wasn't surprised. I had expected it. But what came next shocked me. As part of the bankruptcy process, all assets must be liquidated. This includes the property at 340 Oak Street. The house will be auctioned within 60 days. They were going to lose the house anyway. A small part of me felt a sting of guilt. But I reminded myself, I didn't refinance the house to give Amber money. I didn't stop paying my own bills. I didn't create this mess. They did. And now they were facing consequences. Grandma Rose called me that night. Your mother called me. She's begging to move in after they lose the house. And you said no. I told her she made her bed, now she has to lie in it. Grandma, you didn't have to do that for me. It wasn't for you, dear. It was for me. I won't spend my last years living with a woman who spent her whole life manipulating people. Your father will figure something out too. Where will they live? Not my responsibility. Not yours either. She was right. But a tiny piece of me, the part programmed for 3 decades to fix their messes, felt that old familiar guilt tug. At my next therapy session with Dr. Sharon, who I had started seeing after moving to Seattle, I said, I feel guilty. Guilt is normal, she told me. You were conditioned your whole life to believe your value came from solving their problems. But Natasha, you didn't cause this. And it's not your job to fix it. But they're my parents. Parents who exploited you, manipulated you, and then sued you when you stopped letting them. That is not parental love. That is transactional. And you are allowed to opt out. 2 months later, I saw on Facebook, yes, I still stalked sometimes, that my parents had moved into Amber's apartment. The irony was delicious. Amber, who had received all the love and money and attention, was now stuck supporting 2 bitter, broke adults. Grandma Rose gave me the full update when I called. It's a disaster. 3 adults in a 2-bedroom. Your father and Amber fight constantly. Your mother is depressed. And Amber is furious because they've ruined her life. She said that? Publicly. On Facebook. Long post about how she's a victim of the toxic family. The same Facebook where she called me crazy and jealous? The same. The lack of self-awareness is remarkable. Part of me wanted to look. To watch Amber finally face consequences. But I didn't. Because looking back meant giving them space in my mind. And they no longer deserved space. 6 months after the verdict, I was at a company party. Celebrating an incredible fiscal year. I had led a project that brought in $2 million in new revenue. Patricia toasted. To Natasha, who proved that talent and hard work matter more than politics or family. Everyone applauded. And for the first time, I felt like I belonged. Truly belonged. I was laughing at a joke from Marcus when my phone buzzed. Unsaved number. But I recognized the area code. My hometown. I almost ignored it. But curiosity won. Hello? Natasha? It's Carol. Richard's wife. Aunt Carol. The one who'd watched the trial. Hi, Carol. Is everything okay? Not really. That's why I'm calling. Your father, he had a stroke yesterday. He's in the hospital. He's not doing well. My blood ran cold. A stroke? Is he going to be okay? The doctors aren't sure yet. But Natasha, your mother is asking for you. She wants to see you. And there it was. The final test. My father in the hospital. Possibly dying. My mother asking for me. Every fiber of my old programming screamed go. Go back. They need you. But the new voice, the strong voice Seattle had helped me build, asked. And what do you need? Carol, please tell my mother I'm sorry about my father. Truly sorry. But I'm not coming back. A shocked silence. Natasha, he might die. I understand. And it's tragic. But my presence won't save him. And I'm not letting them pull me back into that cycle. But, he's your father. A father who exploited me. Lied to me. Sued me. Who never once chose me over Amber. I'm sorry for his medical condition. But I do not owe him my presence. Your mother will be devastated. Carol, with respect, my mother spent 32 years devastating me. A little discomfort for her is not my responsibility. After hanging up, I trembled. Not from regret, but from adrenaline. I had done it. I had truly, completely cut them off. I called Dr. Sharon immediately. Did I do the right thing? Natasha, only you can answer that. But let me ask, how do you feel? Scared. Relieved. Guilty. Strong. Everything at once. That's normal. You've just broken a lifelong pattern. It will feel chaotic for a while. But the real question is, did you make the choice that honors your needs and boundaries? Yes. Then you did the right thing. For you. My father survived the stroke. Grandma Rose kept me updated. He had partial paralysis on his left side but was recovering. I didn't visit. Didn't call. Didn't send flowers. And the sky didn't fall. The world didn't explode. Life went on. 3 months later, I received a letter in the mail. Handwritten. From my mother. I almost threw it away unopened. But curiosity won again. Dear Natasha. I know you don't want to hear from me. And I understand why. Your father and I have talked a lot these past months. Especially after his stroke. Almost losing him made me realize many things. You were right. About everything. We treated you like a resource, not a daughter. We prioritized Amber because it was easier than facing our guilt about my sister's death. And we used you because you were always there, always willing, always trying to earn love that should have been unconditional. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I need you to know that I see it now. I see what we did. And, I'm sorry is not enough, but it's all I have. Amber moved out. She couldn't live with us anymore. Said we were suffocating her. The irony was not lost on me. Your father and I live in a small apartment now. I work at a grocery store. He does physical therapy. It's not the life we imagined, but it's the life we earned. You don't have to respond. You don't have to forgive. I just need you to know, you deserved better. You always did. And I'm deeply sorry that it took losing you completely for me to realize it. With love, real love this time. Mom. I cried reading that letter. Not from happiness. Not from hope. But from grief. For the relationship I never had. For the mother I needed but never got. For the years wasted trying to earn something that shouldn't have had conditions. I put the letter in a drawer. Didn't respond. Maybe someday. Maybe never. But it wasn't urgent. And that alone was freedom. A year after the trial, I was sitting in my Seattle apartment, the bigger one now, with a better view, when I received a notification. Grandma Rose had passed peacefully in her sleep. 87 years of a life well lived. I flew back for the funeral. The first family event I had attended in over a year. The church was full. Grandma Rose was deeply loved. My parents were there, in the back. My father in a wheelchair. My mother pushing him. They both looked like they'd aged 10 years. Amber wasn't there. She had moved to California. Trying to start over. During the service, Grandma Rose's lawyer approached me. "Ms. Morgan, your grandmother left a very specific will. Would you like to review it now or after the service?" "Now is fine." We sat in the church office. He opened a thick folder. "Your grandmother left substantial assets. Her home, investments, savings. Approximate total, $1.2 million. My jaw dropped. The original will divided it evenly between your mother, you, and Amber. $400,000 each. However, your grandmother amended her will 18 months ago. Shortly after your trial." He turned the document toward me. "You receive everything. $1.2 million. Your mother and Amber receive nothing." What? There is a letter attached. From your grandmother. To you. With trembling hands, I opened it. "My dear Natasha. If you are reading this, I am gone. I hope it was peaceful and I didn't trouble anyone too much. This money is yours. All of it. Diane and Amber do not deserve a cent. They spent their lives taking without giving. You spent your life giving without receiving. It's time the scales balanced. Use this money wisely. Buy a house. Travel. Invest in your future. Whatever you do, do not give it to your mother or Amber. Promise me. You were the only one who ever saw me as a person, not an obligation. The only one who visited because you wanted to, not because you needed something. The only one who deserves this. Be happy, my girl. You earned it. With all my love, Grandma Rose. P.S. Diane will be furious. Enjoy." I cried right there in the lawyer's office. Deep, shaking sobs. Not because of the money, though it was life-changing. But because someone had finally seen me. Valued me. Chosen me. Outside the church, my mother approached. "Natasha." It was a beautiful service. It was. Awkward silence. You look well. Seattle is treating you well?" "It is. Very." More silence. "I heard that Grandma Rose left everything to you." Her voice was careful, neutral. "She did." I watched the conflict on her face. Anger. Jealousy. But also something like acceptance. She was right. To do it. You deserve it. I looked at my mother, this woman who gave me life but never the love I needed. "Thank you," was all I could manage. "Natasha. I know I can't undo the past. But if someday you ever want to talk. Really talk, not about money, just talk. I'd like that. Maybe one day. But not today. Not yet." She nodded, tears in her eyes. "I understand." I flew back to Seattle the next day. With a heavy heart, but also a light one. Heavy because I lost Grandma Rose. Light because I was finally, completely free. The inheritance changed everything. I bought a beautiful waterfront home. Started an investment fund. And I started a foundation. The Rose Morgan Foundation for Survivors of Family Financial Abuse. Dedicated to helping people escape exploitative families. Offering legal counseling, subsidized therapy, relocation assistance. In 2 years, we helped 347 people. Each one reminded me why it had all been worth it. And today, 5 years after that first day. The day I canceled the payments. Blocked the numbers. And finally said no. I sit on my balcony overlooking Puget Sound, coffee in hand, and smile. Because yes, I lost a family. But I gained my life. And that trade was worth every cent.
And if you enjoyed this story and want to see more narratives like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Leave a like if the story kept you hooked until the end, and share it with someone who also loves stories about family, relationships, revenge, business, and resilience. I'll see you in the next video with another incredible story. See you then.